What's up, y'all? This is William Mustafa, Artworks of William Mustafa. I am the Imagineer on Instagram, and today I'm going to be doing some black and white street photography. For my black and white photography, we're going to try to concentrate on using a camera that I don't really use very often. Now, black and white photography is different than the regular style of photography, in my opinion. In all forms of photography, you're searching for different things. And usually I'm doing documentary and street. And in documentary and street, I'm usually looking for stories and narratives. But in black and white, you're looking for something completely different. I believe in my black and white photography, or monochrome photography, based upon however you want to call it. It's a scooter right up here, it says. You're looking for shapes and forms, similar to this right here. And a dynamic shape and form is what usually grabs people's attention. And today what I'm going to do is kind of just roam the city. These things are always finicky too, like they never want to really scan when I wanted to scan on the first try. So let's see what I can come up with. Woohoo! First try. But it's broken, so I gotta put this shit away. You know, basically this would be like a 35mm vintage black and white street photography vlog. So if you guys want to see that, you know, stay tuned. Let me take you along with me on this little journey. Okay, we're all parked now. Made it a little bit deeper downtown, and now I'm going to start composing. You see, with black and white photography, it's not street photography. Black and white photography is literally, you know, you're looking for compositions, just like the details and such, like this here. Like if I was just doing street, I wouldn't have noticed that, but since I am doing monochrome, it's time to start shooting. So let me go get to work. There's always a sense of anxiety that I have with the time limits that I have set upon myself and how long it's going to take for me to get around, and if I have my camera up or if I'm video recording and I'm missing a composition. That happens usually. But once I slow down, I usually found unique type of things. Sony hasn't changed the APS-C sensor a lot in the last 10 to 15 years. So this camera is very comparable. And any noise or artifacts that I get kind of play into the fact that I'm shooting in monochrome. That's why I chose to use the vintage lens. So therefore, any artifacts or anything that's not too focused kind of play into that contrast and compositional elements that I'm adding with black and white. So also, I'm not shooting in color and converting the black and white. I'm shooting in black and white predominantly. I'm not like changing it and taking the saturation down. The camera is set to monochrome now, which makes you not so much focus on colors and everything. You're looking for shapes, forms, gestures, even in people. Even though I'm trying to stay away from people. But again, I've talked now for a minute and that's too much jibber jabbering, so I'm gonna get up and get back to work. Because I shoot in such documentary and street ways so much, it's like my brain is still wanting to capture people. And I don't always want to capture people when I'm shooting in black and white because people are fucking easy to shoot, for me at least, right? And I don't want to get into the habit of shooting the same things all over and over and over again. Now, usually when I'm doing documentary, I'm looking for gestures and things of that nature. But when I'm doing street, when I'm doing black and white, it's a little bit different. And street art kind of definitely always is a shape or a form, so it's mad easy to focus just on that. It's like the little details that I catch are the important things. I'm not about usually doing a bunch of weird Dutch angles and shit like that. I really like direct square framing. And I think when you concentrate on direct, square and, straightforward framing, it makes people focus on what you're particularly shooting. It's not about doing all this, I'm gonna create some weird point of view. It's about really just taking, focusing on the composition. I do find some interesting compositions with street art. And when I find it, I usually take it. I mean, why not? The fucked up part is that I really don't want to get into doing a bunch of graffiti, just taking pictures of graffiti, because it gets pretty old. But sometimes there's just interesting compositions that are found with street art. It just is. My problem, or maybe lack thereof, a problem is I don't like to have duplicative type of shit. Like, I don't like taking pictures of the same thing all the time. Which leads to me being diverse in the way that I do things, but kind of makes my brain fucking struggle. I like this composition here because it's a red and white flag. It may be an Italian flag, but it's just red and white. See, this flag wasn't like that a second ago. It was like hanging flat. Now it's blowing in the wind and it destroyed my composition. This is like an interesting street. It's like always empty for some reason. It's a thoroughfare to nowhere. It's all about, it's really about finding proper compositions, finding good light and shadow, gestures, shapes, forms. And it's a slower form for me of photography because I don't just shoot everything. When I'm out here doing street and candid and documentary style photography, it's you're looking for narratives, and not all shapes and forms tell narratives. But when you can find a good shape or form that tells a narrative, then it's even better. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go get my boy now, because I know he's waiting for his daddy to pick him up. And if you guys like this type of content, please hit that subscribe or like button. Follow me here on Facebook and or YouTube. And with that said, this is William Mustafa, Artworks of William Mustafa. I am the Imagineer on Instagram, and I will holler at y'all later. Deuces.